All right, let's do it. Today, I'm going to make a post about my thoughts on I versus you statements. And I had a feeling that there's probably a lot of content online about this because it relates to writing and maybe some other things. And so I did a quick Google search and immediately found a ton of articles of people talking about this, especially in terms of like talking this way in relationships. I saw a lot of articles about like you versus I in relationships and some workplace things, which makes sense. And I read one brief snippet and then decided that maybe I wouldn't like go. I read one brief snippet. I wet. I read one brief snippet and then decided that maybe I would just like try to get my own thoughts out about it. So here's how it goes. Something that I've noticed is that when I'm in conversation with people, a lot of the times the way people speak, and that includes me, I do it as well, but it'll be like it'll be like this, where somebody's talking about like, dating or whatever, and they sound like this. Well, how people are. If you want to impress a woman, then, you take her to a nice restaurant and you put on a nice suit and then maybe buy her some flowers. But meanwhile, I'm sitting over here thinking do I? No, I don't. I mean, I don't put on a suit. I don't wear a suit. I don't even own a suit. I won't own a suit. I don't like wearing suits. Like, who are you talking about? You. You're talking about yourself, you mean? That's what I'll start thinking about. Like, oh, you mean you. So actually, it would make more sense if you said, well, you know how it is when I want to impress a woman. I take her to a nice restaurant. I put on a nice suit. So I've thought about how, well, I think a lot of us will talk like this because we feel like this concept that I'm speaking about applies to everybody. It applies to everybody in general. So when I speak about it, I will say you, like, well, you need to yada, yada, yada. And, the best way, well, if you want to, get ahead in life, then you really need to think about X. But I feel like that's like problematic when I'm listening to it because of what I just said. That, for me in the background, I'm thinking like, really? Like maybe that's not my experience. Maybe are you sure that that's, applies to everybody? So something that harder to, I've been trying to do for myself is notice when I'm doing that, because I do in conversations or maybe posts like this, start doing the you thing where, well, I always have like advice and I'll start doing that, well, you think you need to do this, you need to do that, or, you do this, you do that, and switching it around to be an I statement so that I make it clear that I'm coming from my own experience or I'm coming from my own way of thinking about something or my own feelings about the matter, my own point of view, so that it doesn't feel so like a blanket statement or as if I know the way that it is for everybody else, because I don't, and other people don't either. Like, I get it, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, um, a lot of podcast, and the you statements is how most people talk on these videos. Podcasts I watch, people like Aaron Doty, I've been watching him recently, and he's always saying you. And I guess maybe in some of those instances, it's appropriate because let's say I'm watching an Aaron Doty video, I'm going there to get his perspective on what he thinks I need to do about something. Like that's the actual intention. I have chosen to watch a video of my own will to learn about what he thinks I should do about something. So I have, in a way, asked for that advice for myself. So it seems appropriate. But, when I'm having coffee or dinner or lunch with a friend, to have somebody speak like that, like maybe I'm not asking for advice. Maybe I'm not actually looking for somebody to tell me what they think I should do. And I definitely haven't pressed play on that of my own accord. So, anyways, that's how I feel when I'm receiving that. I don't know if that's true for other people, but yeah, I'm trying to get better now than at noticing in my conversations when I do that and then stick to the I statements. Like, I think that it's best to just, make YouTube videos without worrying so much about the outcome. I think, that kind of thing. Anyways, happy Monday.